All right. Also, since Jay is not here to help me moderate, nor is Holly, I'm going to keep the chat window open and try to monitor that as we go. So if you guys ask a question, I'm sorry if I don't get to it as I'm helping teach and I'm looking at the chat. So go ahead and feel free to put questions in there. If I see something come across that I think is going to be super helpful to the group, I will absolutely bring it up and we'll address it, which I'm sure there will be some great questions. And then lastly, if you guys are doing a great job so far, just please make sure you're muted for the session. And then that way everyone can listen to me and hear me as we go along, because there's going to be a ton of valuable content. And some of you may have already seen me speak before or have already partnered with us at Locate. But I would definitely have a notepad handy if you're not taking notes with an AI tool, because there's going to be a ton of gold in here today that's going to help everyone's business. So I'm going to jump right in as we get going, guys. My name is Bobby Kerr. I am the owner and founder of the company Locate My Business. It's a real estate specific marketing agency, and even more specifically for Google Business Profile for real estate agents. So this workshop is called Google Business, AI, and Realtors, the new search revolution, and why we must all now adopt this now to stay visible in 2026 and beyond. If you haven't already had a chance, if you're on a desktop or laptop and you want to scan that QR code, it'll give you free access to our ebook, The Realtor's Guide to Google and AI Visibility. So feel free to scan that code and download that. I'll give you just a couple of more seconds for everyone as we get people coming in here. Everyone still hear me okay? Brandon, can you hear me okay? Thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Laura's got my back. She's here for me today with those cool shades. All right, let's just jump right in, guys. I'm going to go to the next slide. So a little fun thing first to get going. This is my alter ego. For those of you that don't know me personally, I play in tribute bands, and I get to tour all over the world and play as Bon Jovi. I have a tribute band called Bob Jovi, hence the name Bobby. So I always like to start with that, a little fun thing for those music lovers out there. But these are pictures of me, not John Bon Jovi. So this is what I get to do when I'm not doing Google business stuff for real estate agents. So really quick, let's set the tone here. So what makes me and what makes our company Locate an authority on AI search and Google search? Well, number one, I've helped form and start a lot of real estate based businesses leaning heavily on Google Business Profile. That's organic growth. We don't run Google ads. I try to get everyone to grow organically so that you don't have to continue to pay for more leads, because there are so many other lead sources that we're all paying for. So leaning heavily on the back of organic growth through Google Business Profile, over 2,000 5-star Google reviews just from my 5 organizations that I have either started or been a vice president or been a COO with. Plus, of course, thousands and thousands of more 5-star reviews for all of the real estate agents that we've helped all over North America. I'm personally a certified Google marketing expert, as well as a certified Google products expert as of last year. These are the 5 companies that I either started or was a leader with. You can see mortgage brokerage, home inspections, Locate, that's this current marketing agency, property and casualty. I had a Goosehead Insurance franchise, as well as helping a large RE/MAX real estate team before I made the switch to EXP. So this stuff works, what we're going to be talking about today, guys. If you want your platform, you want your profile, your company, your business to have 200, 300 reviews like some of these, it's absolutely doable. We're going to get started with a metaphor. This is not the dark horse metaphor. This is the dark house realtor metaphor to get started and really paint the picture for where we're going today. So I want everyone to imagine, all right, that you've got this awesome listing. It's a beautiful house, all right? It is absolutely gorgeous, but here's the kicker. Every showing must happen at night in pitch darkness, and all of the lights must remain turned off when you're trying to show this house, okay? Only at night, and the lights must remain off, okay? It doesn't seem very intuitive to success, okay? The house exists. The buyers are driving by. It might be the most gorgeous house in the entire neighborhood or the entire city, but no one can see the value, and no one's going to stop in. No one's going to check it out, all right? That's because the dark house is not visible to everyone. It might be the best house in the entire world, but if no one can see it, it does not matter. That is our online presence when we have fewer than 50 Google reviews. That is your online presence when your realtor website, most likely from Bold Trail or Lofty, right? That's when your website just has templated copy, which is pretty much all of them. That's your business when there's no clear value proposition, like no local feel. You don't have a bunch of local community pages on your website, or your Google business profile isn't leveraged to the hilt with local, hyper local content. This also metaphor relates to you if your Google business profile is not fully optimized, right? If you just got it to collect some reviews and showcase your phone number and your website, and that's about it. If you're not leveraging all the tools like posts, products, events, offers, killer reviews, adding photographs, if you're not utilizing it, that's your business. You're the dark house. So AI and Google can't see the quote unquote lights on, and they show someone else's quote unquote house instead of yours. So I'm sure we all know who this gentleman is. This is Tom Ferry, one of the world's renowned real estate coaches. He has an expression that he has said for years and years and years. He says, your business is whatever Google says it is. So if you're not populating in search and you're not in the top of the local map pack, okay, that means that the rest of the world thinks that your business doesn't exist. So he's right. Your business is whatever Google says it is. He's got another partner named Jason Pantana. He's his marketing guy. He's more of the AI guy. He says your business is whatever AI search says it is. And he is also right, and the two are interconnected. So that's what we're going to be talking about all day today. And here's the problem. This is not you guys. You guys are here for a reason. You are not the 93%. Everyone on this call today, you are in the 7%. So 93%, all of your competitors and your colleagues, for the most part, they are not optimized with their Google search, their AI search, or their social media. Okay? Yet everyone is utilizing, especially Google and AI search tools now, to find us and find our services. So if you are not optimized on Google, you will never be optimized on AI search. There's no way to do one or the other. And Google always comes first. So the big shift, of course, we all know this now. More and more people are asking ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, etc. They're asking those tools for recommendations instead of a traditional Google or Yahoo or Bing search. The future is here. We all know that, right? But here is what I want everyone to take away. Feel free to take pictures of your screen or whatever. Okay? But these are some true stats right now that everyone needs to understand. As of this year, we always knew it was true, but ChatGPT came out this year, and they admitted and confirmed that in 2026, it's pulling data directly from Google Business Profile for local search queries. Okay? So if you are not populating in ChatGPT local query recommendations, it's because most likely your Google Business Profile is not very good. So we've got to start there. Google's AI overviews, now, which is what they're doing, they're showcasing, right, AI summaries before they even show the links down below with pages and pages of results. Those AI search overviews are appearing now about 40% of the time on local search. And it's pulling directly from Google Business Profile. It's the primary source for those answers. The third bullet, incomplete or outdated profiles cause AI tools to hallucinate. That's true. That's a real thing. AI will start to hallucinate if your business information is not consistent across the web. Fourth bullet, AI does not just read star ratings. This is really, really important. We're going to talk in depth about reviews in a little bit, but AI tools are semantically analyzing review language to match businesses to the public's search queries. And we'll expand on that a little bit more, but basically the preview is, if you've got a bunch of 5-star reviews, as an example, I'll use Rick Davis, who's on this call. If Rick has a profile with 100 Google 5-star reviews, but they're all from 2025, and Brandon Elliott, who's also on this call, he's got a Google business profile with only 20 reviews, but they're all from 2026. Brandon's profile is going to be performing much better than Rick's because he's got recent reviews. And in this example, let's say Brandon's people have left a lot of context in those reviews, saying the city and state that they live in, where he helped them, that he's the local pro. And Rick's profile just got 100 5-star reviews with not a bunch of words. So it really reads the review language. We're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. Google Business Profile, that's GBP, the services section of your profile, and the attributes of your profile. That is true structured data that AI uses to filter out for different search results. So every component of your Google business profile has got to be complete. And then there's a big company called Yext. They are a digital performance company. Their analysis of almost 7 million AI citations are just basically landing pages, okay, different websites and platforms. 7 million AI citations confirmed that up-to-date Google business profile data is a key visibility factor across Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity. So lastly, guys, to take away here, a weak Google business profile doesn't just hurt your Google rankings, it quite literally undermines your AI visibility across the entire web on every major platform. So I know I'm going to beat this horse as many times as we can today, but it all starts with the Google business profile. So some more data for you. Here's what we know now. Okay, January 2024, so barely 2 years ago, AI search was only 1% of all internet search usage. Okay, I know some people on this call, like I was starting to use ChatGPT in 2022 when it first came out, but it was so new that no one really knew what to do with it. So the majority of the public kind of started paying attention about 2 years ago, but still only 1% of the public was utilizing AI search to find local search queries. In June of that year, so not even 2 years ago, about 2.5% of search traffic was going to AI tools. That seems like maybe not a whole lot, but when you look at 1%, going from 1% to 2.5% of all internet search traffic in 6 months, that's pretty massive. Now, as of December 2025, so 4 or 5 months ago, AI search in place of traditional search is almost 7%. It is actually over 7% now. That is a massive jump. That's a 438% increase in barely 2 years. So if your Google business profile is not optimized, Google and AI search tools are already recommending other agents instead of you. So big takeaway, guys, we've got to make sure your Google business profile is optimized. And then that way we can start to influence all the AI tools as well. For those of you that are still not convinced, here's a trajectory based on the same numbers, right? 6% in 2025. By the time we finish 2026, all internet search traffic, or 13% of internet search traffic is going to be AI tools. Looking next year, a quarter, right? 2027, 2030, 55%. And by the year 2035, in 9 years, 85% of all internet search traffic is predicted to be through AI tools. All right. That is massive. So if you plan on being in this business for the next 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it's good that you're here in this meeting, because this is what it takes to be found online. And we've got to be there, obviously, because look at that, 85% of all search traffic, that is a ton. So don't be like this guy. Do not be a ghost by not paying attention to this stuff. Obviously, everyone on this call is here for it. You're here to learn. You're here to take advantage. Don's laughing at that joke. You will be a ghost. I promise you. If you're not found on Google Business Profile, you're not going to be found anywhere else. So some important keywords to understand before we go through this. Already, I've kind of mentioned a few of these, but I'm also a former public middle school teacher. So I like to kind of start with the end in mind and make sure everyone understands the vocab for the day, okay? So number one, you've probably heard the term SEO, search engine optimization. That's been the big term for the last 30 years with the internet. Well, things are moving towards AEO, answer engine optimization. So what does this mean? Basically, it means when someone asks an AI tool a question, is it going to confidently name you, right? Everyone's using their AI tools now. You're using for voice prompts, voice searches, Siri, Google, your Android device. Okay, that is how we want to start reflecting and impacting answer engine optimization. So when people use voice prompts, it starts to recommend you and your business. But we got to build the foundation for it first. Second term that we're going to talk about today, it's really important, is what the term is called NAP, N-A-P, the acronym for name, address, phone, plus website. Now what this means is your NAP, the official name, address, phone, and website for your business, is it consistent across all of the platforms where your business is listed? Okay, so if you've got a profile on Facebook for a business page, you got a profile on Yelp or Better Business Bureau, Google Business Profile, Zillow, Realtor, etc. Our name, address, phone, plus your website has got to be consistent on all of those platforms. And what I mean by the name, I truly mean character for character listed the exact same. Okay. So if my business is Locate My Business dash real estate marketing agency, that's the name on the Google Business Profile where we've got over 200 5-star reviews. That has got to be the same name listed across all the other platforms, Better Business Bureau, Facebook, Yelp, etc., because that's how Google and all the AI tools understand what our business is, and they don't start to hallucinate. Because when the AI tools and when Google hallucinates, they basically throw their hands up in the air and they say, yeah, I don't really know who to recommend here, so I'm just going to skip over these businesses because nothing's consistent. So we want to make sure that we're consistent across the board. So that's name, address, phone. Lastly, citations. We've already mentioned this one. Okay, your citations are basically, it's just a fancy word to say, where is your business listed across the internet? Okay, and these are your fact checkers for AI hallucinations to prevent that. So when Google and all the AI tools are scouring the internet in milliseconds to figure out who to recommend, right, that they're going to look at all of the different places where your business is listed. The most popular ones you can see on the left: Facebook, Google, Zillow, realtor.com, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, and Bing Places. That's Microsoft's version of Google Business Profile, right? We've got to make sure that all of those citations are consistent across the board, because AI is a recommendation engine. It's not just a search engine anymore. If it cannot verify you, okay, then it's literally not going to risk its own reputation by suggesting you. So we've got to make sure we're consistent across the board. All right, so moving on, where do AI tools pull data from, right? We know that Google Business Profile is number one. Okay, we've talked about some of those other citations, but this is going to be really important because I've just updated this in the last few weeks, because from all of our research, we can see there's some different citations where a lot of the agents that are on this call right now, you probably are not currently on those platforms and you need to be. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into it. We've talked about the big ones, obviously Google Business Profile, Bing, Copilot, your Bold Trail website, if that's you, Realtors, Zillow, Homes.com, HomeLight, and Fast Expert. I'm going to take a TV timeout here, okay? Everyone write this down. Put it down in your notes somewhere. HomeLight and Fast Expert. Okay, right now, those two are popping up almost on every single real estate search on ChatGPT. So when you search for the local recommendations for real estate pros in your market, you can see where it's pulling data from, okay? And Fast Expert and HomeLight are populating more than ever right now. So those are free platforms. So if you go ahead and sign up for a free profile, that way you can make sure that ChatGPT starts paying attention to you in addition to all those other platforms where you are. Again, make sure those platforms that profile is consistent across the board with their name, address, phone, and website, okay? So those are really, really hyper local, important right now. And also down in the bottom left, you guys can see Apple Business Connect. That platform in particular, today I just got an email from Apple that they are rolling out a whole new platform. So Apple has been really kind of all over the place with their business listings from Apple Maps. And it's basically like 4 platforms in one, and it really hasn't worked very well. But as of today, they are combining all of their business platforms. So if you're not already on Apple Business, which then connects you to Apple Maps, highly look into that. Really what it all comes down to, no, they're not really going to be a competitor of Google Business Profile, even though they're kind of trying to do the same thing. But really what it all comes down to, and some of you have probably seen this in the news and heard this, but Apple Maps is going to start running ads. So this is their way of trying to get businesses more involved with the Maps product. Apple Maps, not Google Maps, that the Apple Maps is going to start running ads. And so just kind of look that up, but definitely need to be on that citation with Apple Business Connect. You don't have to start running ads, of course, but it is an important citation to be on. So this is kind of like the suite of minimum of the citations where everyone needs to have a consistent profile. So how do these AI tools pull data? We know that Google Business Profile, it's king, it's number one. It's almost half of the entire value. So again, if you're not on Google Business Profile and you don't have an optimized profile, half of your power is automatically gone. Okay, so we've got to be there and we've got to have a killer optimized profile. Number two, weighted value on the scale is reviews. Okay, Google reviews are the most important, but it's also important, and I'll go back a slide here. It's also important to have reviews on other citations, right? On Bing Places, on Yelp, okay? On Better Business Bureau, on Zillow. These are all super hyper local citations where reviews show a lot of strength. Okay, and we talked about the example earlier with Rick and Brandon, right? Having those reviews and having keywords in those reviews to tell those different platforms how awesome you are. So right away, look, Google Business Profile 45% and reviews 25%. There's 70% of how AI tools are pulling data. So right away, what I want everyone to realize is if you don't have a killer Google Business Profile and you don't have a bunch of strong reviews, okay, we've got some catching up to do. Luckily, it's never too late. We've got to start building the foundation. So you can see how important this stuff is. Number three, recency of activity. Google and AI tools, more than ever, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger, they've got such a massive recency bias. Okay, so again, to the example I gave, Rick had 100 reviews, all from 2024 and 2025. But if he doesn't have any new reviews over the last several weeks or months, Google's going to ignore him. Okay, it's a what have you done for me lately kind of situation. And Google gives us the Google Business Profile, and it's a free platform, right? It's free to utilize it, and hopefully they always keep it that way. And they're basically going to look at your profile and say, well, man, if Dawn hasn't used our platform and she's not utilizing all of the tools that we give her to promote her business, well, then why would we reward her in search results? So we've got to use the tools that they provide for us. So recency bias is real. Okay, so that goes for your reviews, your posts, your services, your products, your events, your offers, all on Google Business Profile, because that's what stems out across all the other AI tools. And lastly, guys, yes, your website is still important, but it's not as important as it used to be. Right now, the website is more so important because it is like the second step in the consumer's journey. It used to be the first, but because Google Business Profile has become so prominent, the business profile is basically the first step in the consumer's journey now. That's where they're going to go. And if your profile sucks, then they're not going to go to take the next step to your website. So we've got to make sure the business profile is strong first, and then the website's also got to be strong, and they've got to be speaking the same language. Okay, we'll talk more about that later. We're going to have several slides specifically about your website, because I would imagine most people on this call have a Bold Trail website or a Lofty website, and I'm going to make sure you guys understand how to make those even stronger than they currently are. Okay, timeout. All right, thank you. So number one, Google Business Profile is still king. It's the number one source for Gemini and other AI search tools. This is not a workshop on how to utilize every single tool of the Google Business Profile. This is more high level of how to start impacting AI search results. But really quick to touch on it, because I skimmed over it earlier, for those of us that have not been super active on our Google Business Profile over the last few years, most people don't even understand that your business profile is kind of like a social media platform. Okay, if you post something on Instagram, you post something on LinkedIn or Snapchat, okay, Google wants you to do the same thing. You can add photos, add videos, add posts, add products, add services, all of these things to your Google profile. And when you do, Google rewards your profile. So we want to make sure that we do everything. And I know I've got on here 100 plus photos. In another workshop that we do, we talk pretty in depth about this, but really quick so we don't lose sight. Google Business Profiles with over 100 photos and videos, the exact stat is something like 1,000% more views than profiles with only a few photos. So the bottom line is you need a ton of photos and or videos on your Google business profile. And when you do, Google trusts you more. So everything we're here talking about today is truly called a trust signal. That's what Google calls it. That's literally the term. So when we do all these things and we utilize all of their tools and we optimize our profile, that's when Google starts to trust us more, because we're sending all of these trust signals that they verify about our business. Okay. But we know that Google business profile alone, right, is not enough. It's the main thing, but it's not enough just by itself. So let's speak about reviews for a little bit, because this is something that everyone can do and impact your business today to get a really, really strong result. I've already given the example of fresh reviews are better than old reviews. Burn that into your head, guys. If your profile goes, and I've got a good friend on here, a team member, Christina McCord with EXP. I'm going to use her as an example, right? So she has something like close to 80 reviews, but she got most of them at the tail end of 2025, and she's now ramping back up her reviews, right? So recency bias is real. So we've got to keep the review consistency, the timing of it consistent, because here's the thing, right? If you go a couple of weeks and you realize that you haven't had a review in a while, okay, you've got to get your butt in gear. Okay? You've got to go back to some past clients, go to some colleagues and ask for a review, because we'll talk more again specifically, but 3 to 5 reviews every month is the bare minimum. Okay, and I'll give you some more tips on that in a second. Here is an example I want everyone to read. I'm going to read it out loud of what a phenomenal review looks like, and I'll describe why. Okay, number 1, Felicia is a local pro. This is a real Google review, by the way. Felicia is a local pro. Clear communication throughout the process and care in every detail. I was nervous about being out of state selling my property in Grain Valley, Missouri, but Felicia made it painless. Only use Felicia Davis if you want the best sale price, recommendations on schools, parks, things to do for your family in the Grain Valley area. Felicia will take care of you when buying or selling a home. So I've bolded all of these keywords in here, okay? So words like her name. This person mentions her name like 4 different times in this review. The words clear communication, care, out of state, selling my property, the city, Grain Valley, Missouri, parks, schools, things to do for the family, buying or selling a home. That's a ton of keywords that Google and AI tools are looking at in real time to say, is this a person we feel like we can strongly recommend in search results? And of course, the answer is yes. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Like, when you search for who's the best real estate agent in Grain Valley, Missouri, Felicia's popping up. Okay, that's because she's been listening to all these things that we've been teaching for Google Business Profile and been doing them consistently for 3 years now. So this is a long game for sure, but we've got to start now doing these things if we haven't already. Okay, so keywords in your review are super important. I've already talked about spreading them across multiple platforms, right? Google is always going to be first and foremost, but having some reviews on Zillow, realtor.com, your Facebook business page, Bing, Yelp, Better Business Bureau, your local chamber of commerce, also a huge opportunity here. And you can see the red arrow, I've already pointed those out. Fast Expert and HomeLight, very, very important. If you don't have a profile on there already, go get a free one today. And no one's put it in the chat yet, but usually I get some chuckles here when they see the 2 logos above Fast Expert and HomeLight. Okay, what do you see? Yellow Pages and MapQuest. When was the last time anyone thought to go to MapQuest? I bet it's been a hot minute, right? But think back to the days of like 2005 before smartphones, and we were all printing out directions, right? And putting those directions like in our passenger seat and dangerously looking at that as we're trying to drive, right? Well, MapQuest is, think about the data points, data sets that they had for years of collecting business data, right? Business names, business addresses, business phone numbers. To take it even a step further, think about Yellow Pages, right? How many times did we use the Yellow Pages back in the day? Well, Yellow Pages was around for decades, okay? They've got this massive database of business information. So now, this is how important those 2 data sets are to have profiles on them. They charge money. You want to have a profile on MapQuest, you have to pay them per month. Okay, it's nominal, right? It's like $5 to $10 a month. But think about that. Like no one even thinks to go on there, but it's such a hugely important and valuable citation where all these other AI tools are pulling data from that if you're not there, you're missing out. So I always find it important to make sure I recommend that all of our agents here get on Yellow Pages and MapQuest, as well as all the other ones that we've been talking about. So everything you see right there, from Facebook to Better Business Bureau to Yellow Pages to Fast Expert, if you don't have profiles on there, go get them now today. I've got a quick question here. Is it true that if people use AI to write your reviews, or if they write the review at your business, Google may think it's fake and take it off? Not necessarily. I've never seen any review get taken off because it's necessarily somebody used Gemini to help write reviews. But certainly Google does remove reviews all the time. There's not like a human being that's sitting there looking at all of our profiles, trying to determine if it's real or not. So if they do think a review is spammy, they will remove them and they won't tell you about it. So I highly recommend you keep track of your reviews, like in a spreadsheet. So that way, if you do see them get removed, then you can go back to Google and you say, hey, I'd like these reviews reinstated. But the problem, see, what if Google keeps spamming my reviews? I think that's probably what Kieran is asking about. To Holly's question, I don't know specifically that they're removing them simply because they think an AI tool wrote them, okay? I've used AI tools to write reviews for other people, and those reviews have been there for years. So I don't want to say that if you use an AI tool to write your review, it's going to go away, because they know now that everyone's utilizing AI tools. So, but they will remove them if they think that the review was purchased or if they think the review is spam at all. So I wouldn't be too concerned with using an AI tool to help write reviews. And a sales guy told me AI written reviews will get flagged. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that at all. Also, to Christina's point here, guys, for those newer agents. So I think Allie asks, if a newer agent is not doing much activity, how can we get 3 to 5 reviews a month? Great question. Here's, Christina even said it in the chat. If you are a newer agent and you need help getting going, it's okay to ask your sphere of influence or your colleagues or a referral partner for what we call a character review. Okay. You don't want to go, if Hank, who's on this call, is a newer agent and he's trying to get to 20 reviews as quick as possible, he doesn't want to go ask people, hey, Bobby, can you leave me a review and talk about what a great agent I am and how I helped you buy a house, I helped you buy or sell a house, even though I didn't really help you buy or sell a house. You don't want to do that. Like that's kind of icky, right? It doesn't feel very good. It's kind of unethical. But if you ask your sphere of influence for a character review and you say something to the effect of, hey, Bobby, I'm on a mission to get to 20 reviews. I could really use your help. And even though I've never helped you with real estate, I'm a highly ethical person. I'm highly professional, and I'm always going to take care of my clients. Would you please leave me a character review? And that kind of takes away the ickiness. And I would highly recommend going to your sphere of influence, asking for these character reviews. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to answer all these questions, guys, but the comment was we have a very large team and we're all started reviewing each other. Then Google came in and removed them all. It was so crazy. How can we help our colleagues? My guess is that probably happened because everyone was leaving reviews around the same time. So that's why it's important to do kind of things consistently and not in one big batch, because Google will flag that a lot of times because they will think that the reviews were purchased or there's something kind of weird going on. So I would just kind of stagger them out and not doing everything like that all at the same time. All right. Okay, so speaking with reviews, guys, we're going to continue here. In the search revolution, you aren't competing against Zillow, you're competing against the clock, right? If you look like a statue, this is the recency bias, AI is going to treat you like a ghost. Fresh reviews, better than old reviews. 3 to 5 a month is extremely, extremely important. That's the bare minimum, right? A stale profile with 5-star reviews from last year, we know now is much less valuable than even a 4.5-star profile that's from this year, okay? AI tools are prioritizing freshness, recency bias. We want to avoid all of that. And here is the big one, guys. Take a picture of this, put this into your process every single time you ask your clients for a review. Okay, there's 5 steps to what we call the holy grail of a killer Google review or a killer review on any platform. Number 1, you need 5 stars. Okay, that's a no-brainer. Number 2, the reviewer needs to mention you and or your business by name in the review. Number 3, they need to mention the city and the state where you served them. Okay, so real estate transaction, they need to mention the city and the state where they bought or sold with you. And if they can even go, if they feel comfortable with going the extra mile and mentioning the specific neighborhood or subdivision or even the street name, that is AI gold. Okay, that is a major trust signal that Google is recognizing that this is a real review. You don't want your reviews to go away. Make sure your clients are leaving a ton of keywords specific to this stuff. Number 4, hot keywords that signify your excellence, like that Felicia review, right? Saying she's the local pro, she's the best agent in this city and state, she's the local expert. Words like that are hugely important and valuable to Google and all the AI tools. And number 5, guys, if some of you are still like old school and really good with your relationships and you actually go to closings, okay, hopefully that's a lot of people on this call. If you're still going to closings, get your people to leave a review at the closing table. They will never be happier with your service, and they will never again, you will never again have their full attention. Because as soon as they get those keys and they walk away from that closing table, what are they concerned with? They're concerned with getting their kids in schools. They're concerned with getting the movers. They're concerned with setting up utilities. They are not concerned with leaving you a 5-star review. So do it at the closing table and have them add a photograph with you at the closing table. If your reviews are chock full of that kind of stuff, guys, these 5 things, then your profile is going to be living large and you're going to be outpacing your competitors way more than you could ever imagine. So this is hugely important with reviews. We know that the reviews are 25% of the weighted scale in terms of how AI tools and Google itself is recommending your business. So make sure that you start coaching your clients with stuff like this. What I highly recommend is, this is a bad example because this is a coaster, okay? But imagine this is like a clear acrylic, plastic block that looks like it's glass. I'm sure we've all seen something like that. You can get them custom made with a QR code on it, okay? That goes straight to your review link. So how great would that be if at your closing table, you've got this beautiful acrylic glass block or, plastic block that looks like glass, and it's got a QR code, and you slide that over to your client at the closing table, and you say, hey, would you mind leaving a review? And you have some other, maybe a piece of paper as simple as that, or maybe you print it on the glass block that says, mention me by name, mention the city and state, add a photograph, and they do that at the closing table. Then you don't have to worry about trying to hunt them down afterwards via a text or an email campaign after they've already moved in to try to get a 5-star review. So do it when you've got their attention and when they're the happiest. And adding a photo is really the sweet spot. If you can get people to do that, you're doing really, really well. Also, this answers that other question earlier too. Like if I'm a new agent, or if I'm new to a market, how do I get more reviews? Well, how about this? Most agents have these people in their back pocket, right? You've got contractors, you've got painters, you've got electricians, you've got photographers, you've got appraisers, you've got title people, you've got co-oping agents, you've got home inspectors. These are people that know how you do business, and it'd be a great opportunity to either A, ask for a character review like we talked about, or actually ask them for a real review because they did business with you on a specific transaction. So another great opportunity, Dustin, thank you very much. My buddy Dustin there, this slide is gold. He knows all too well, right? So this is a great opportunity to ask these people for reviews because these people are going to help you and they know how you do business. He loves this slide because he created it. So let's move on here. We're going to talk about websites now, okay? All of this is gold. Thank you, Holly. All of this, so right now we're going to move on to the website component because we know it's still about 15-20% of the weighted value of how AI tools are recommending us and how Google's recommending us, to be honest. Okay, so specific to websites, and I'm going to speak mostly to Bold Trail and Lofty because I think most people on this call, that's the platforms that we're utilizing for our websites. Okay, so as you can see here, the tool that you think is helping you is probably actually keeping you invisible online. And the guy here, he's behind the 8 ball. Why is he behind the 8 ball? Because truly, our websites are not helping us out of the box. So you join EXP, right? Or you're with another brokerage that gives you a sexy bold trail website and you think, oh man, this website looks great. It looks great, you're right, but it's not performing highly for you. And here's why. Here's the problem. AI does not want more of the same MLS data on a website. Okay, it wants original, local expertise that is not found anywhere else. Okay, so all of these bold trail and lofty websites, they are designed to do three things. They are designed to satisfy brokers or large companies like EXP or Remax or whatever. Okay, they're made to satisfy brokers in bulk. They are made to check compliance boxes. Okay, they're there to keep the brokers from getting sued, and they are there to show listings cleanly, right? I said the term sexy, right? Everyone's bold trail website, it looks good, it's sexy. Okay, it pulls in MLS data, great, but it is not meant to do the last three bullets here. It is not designed to establish local authority for you. It is not meant to train Google or AI tools who the best agent is in your market, and it is certainly not made to win search visibility out of the box. Okay, these are the major problems with your bold trail or lofty website. That's out of the box, okay, but we can help these things. So I added this slide not too long ago because I had a meeting with the chief technology officer of Inside Real Estate. Okay, so Inside Real Estate, for those of us that don't know, that's the parent company for Bold Trail. Okay, so Inside Real Estate is actually who designs all of these websites for all of us. Okay, here is the thing. This is straight from the horse's mouth from the chief technology officer. There are 600,000 Bold Trail websites, 600,000 of them. And they are all essentially mirrors of each other. Okay, they are not original windows into your business or your specific market. Now you might think, oh, my website, Bobby, it says my name, it's got my logo, it says my brokerage, and at the bottom it even says my MLS, and it says my address to my office. All of that is basically on the surface of your website. It is not on the back end. It is not in the schema. It is not in the code. Okay, the code on your website looks the same if you're in Los Angeles or Southwest Florida or Kansas City or New York. Okay, everyone's Bold Trail website is essentially the same on the guts, in the guts. Okay, it does not send strong signals about your local market, your city, your local neighborhoods, local landmarks, school districts, etc. It's all the same. Those listings that are pulling from the MLS, that's not selling you. That's not telling Google why you are awesome. That's not telling AI tools why you are the expert. Okay, so these are the problems. Now let's talk about the solutions. Luckily, with Bold Trail, everyone has access to edit our own websites. So you can go on there and you can add local pages to your site. You can add local pages about specific neighborhoods, specific subdivisions, common questions and answers, okay, adding blogs. You can do a ton of stuff to customize your website and create that local feel, okay? So I kind of call it triangulating your authority, right? So think about it like this, right? Your website, your Google business profile, and all the other citations that are out there on the internet, like the Facebooks and the Yelps and the Better Business Bureau. We want to triangulate the authority. So that's why consistent name, address, phone is really important. Okay, that lock of triangulating that authority is what's going to give AI and Google the confidence to recommend you. These pages that you're going to create, these custom pages, these are trust signals. So again, I'll give Christina McCord here a shout out. She's in the Kansas City, Missouri market area. So on her website, she should have 20 different pages that are all about 20 different communities or cities in the Kansas City market area. And on each one of those pages, there should be specific info about that city. What are the cool things to do? How are the school districts? What are the parks? What are the great restaurants? It doesn't have to be all about real estate, guys. We want Google and AI tools to think of us as local experts, not just real estate professionals, okay? They need to know that we are experts in all things about our community, okay? So it's really important that our websites start to do the same thing and mirror up with our Google business profile. So timeout. Speaking of our website and adding photos and adding content, this is really, really important, okay? With our Google profile, with our website, with any platform, we can add photographs to it, right? So with Google, I'm sure some of us have heard the term geotagging, right? Like this is a really big term over the last 10, 15 years where a lot of marketers and a lot of people thought that we needed to go in, like you take a picture, you upload it to your computer, and then you change and you scrub the data on the back end of your photo, and you would literally add latitude and longitudinal coordinates to the back end of your photograph, and then you would upload that photograph to your website or to your Google business profile, and that was meant to basically kind of hack Google into thinking you do all of your business in a geographical area, okay? Well, with AI and Google being able to read images, okay, the same thing now, the modern day geotagging is adding images of you in your geographical area. Okay, Google AI can read your images. So what we recommend is taking one day a month or one day a quarter out of your busy schedule, go around all over your local town, your local towns where your market is, and take photographs of yourself in branded gear all over those local landmarks. So in Kansas City, you can go take a picture with wearing your branded hat or your branded shirt, or holding up your business card in front of Kauffman Stadium or Arrowhead Stadium, or the local parks or local street signs that everyone knows, or water towers. This is really important, and upload those photos, not in one batch, but upload those photos like 2 a week. So if you take one day every quarter, you go take 30 or 40 photos, and then you upload 1 or 2 a week. You've got a ton of really, really great local content that you're adding to your website or your blogs or your Google business profile. So this is really important. But the thing is, guys, make sure there's something branded in the photograph. Have a branded hat, a branded shirt, hold a business card up in the photo, hold a branded folder, a yard sign, have something branded in the photograph with you. It will be really, really important. So really quick, I'm gonna look at a question here from Nicholas. Is it better to personalize our Bold Trail website or invest in our own custom domain? So your domain, I don't want people to get confused. Your domain is just the web address, okay? Your actual website is hosted on Bold Trail, right? So you can redirect a domain to get to your Bold Trail website anytime you want. So this is not a web design course, so I'm not going to get too much into the details, but the easy button for the agents in this class, okay, you can go in there, and if you feel comfortable, you can add those custom pages, or you could pay a marketing company or a website company to update these things for you. Bold Trail does have an IDX tool, I believe. So you can build schema on the back. I know for a fact you can build schema onto the pages of your Bold Trail website. That's what's going to make them super powerful, is incorporating, again, I don't want to get in the weeds too much, but having the content about those cities or those individual services you have on the face of your pages. You can install schema code, HTML code on the back end as well. So you can dig into it if you feel comfortable doing that. So continuing with the website, guys, some other major tips. And honestly, this goes for all content. Keep everything at a 7th grade reading level, okay? AI tools, they do not like when we speak in industry jargon, okay? So of course we need to say some type of industry things, but don't go in trying to impress people with how much you know. So literally, if you're using AI tools to help you write content for your website or a blog or a Facebook post or your Google business posts, literally tell it, write this in a 7th grade reading level, okay? So it's okay to say that. Also, for your website, again, I've talked about this, you want to create a digital mirror between your website and your Google business profile. So here are some tips, right? Align your business profile's services section, okay? Services section of your business profile. We want to align that with pages on your website. So if you've got a service name on your Google business profile that says waterfront canal property in Cape Coral, Florida, that's the service name, and I want to install a page on my website with the header called Cape Coral Canal Front Waterfront Property in the same thing. So that's going to be the same thing. I'm going to make a header on my website page. And then on the body of the page, I'm going to add the service description from the Google Business Profile. So essentially, they're saying the same thing. So that's just one quick way of how you can make your business profile and your website start to speak to each other, which helps with your rankings, okay, is creating that digital mirror. Really quick, Hank's got a question. When you say branded in the photo, do you mean your name or your actual business name? Well, Hank, to your question, what's the name of your business profile on Google? If the name of your business on Google is Jones Realty Group, then I would recommend having something that says Jones Realty Group. But if your business profile name is Hank Purefoy Realtor, then I would recommend the branded stuff, at least say Hank Purefoy. Hopefully that makes sense. Sticking with the website, guys, we've already talked about this, creating individual pages, communities or city pages on your website. Huge. Okay, I cannot tell you the amount of difference and strength in a website when it's just the generic out of the box content that says, everyone's Bold Trail website says the same thing. It's got the about section, it's got the MLS data, the listing section, and a contact section. That's it. And then most real estate agents never change a thing. But you take that basic Bold Trail or Lofty site and you add a ton of local content, and then also we line that content up with your Google Business Profile. Like, holy cow. I almost dropped an F-bomb there. Like, that's how cool that is. So we want to make sure that they start to speak the same language, okay? Because it will positively impact the rankings of your page and of your website when they speak the same thing. You've got a ton of local, hyper-local content. You're welcome, Hank. All right, guys, we're kind of getting close to the end here. I can't believe how fast an hour has gone by. Hopefully you all are taking a lot of notes and getting a lot of value. So as a reminder, okay, this is how AI tools is broken down in terms of a weighted scale. Number one, 45%, your Google business profile. If it is not strong, if it is not optimized, I mean, everything from the services, products, posts, offers, events, photos, reviews, if you're not utilizing all of those tools, then Google does not view your business as strong. They literally view your business as dying. And why would they recommend a dying business in search results? And why would AI tools pull data from Google if they're not getting strong trust signals, right? Number two, the strength of reviews. It's so very important. We need them loaded with location and service keywords. Number three, citations, making sure your business, your name, your address, your phone, your website is listed consistently across the web, wherever your business is listed. And number four, website strength. We just talked about that for about minutes. Local content, guys. Make yourself an authority in your community. If your page looks the same as, look at 10 realtor websites in your community. Okay, look at all your competitors. If your website looks the same or similar as theirs, then there's nothing that's unique about you. You guys have heard the term unique selling proposition, USP. What's your unique selling proposition? You need to tell the world and tell Google and tell these AI tools what makes you so awesome, what makes you so special. All right. Really quick, a question. What if you have more than one website? I don't know why you would have more than one website if you're a realtor. So I don't quite understand that one. I'm trying to read some questions that are coming in, guys. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're seeing getting some value out of this. How can you verify your business if you work from but use your corporate address? My Google business page has been restricted. Yeah, Hank, I'm gonna have an opportunity for you and I to get on a calendar with each other so we can answer some of those questions. If I have two businesses on different platforms, Google, Facebook, will it mess things up? Yeah, I think you're saying two Google profiles. If you have two Google profiles and Google has allowed it, you don't want to mess with it. That's kind of cool. They really restrict duplicate profiles. I really don't recommend you doing that on purpose because they might suspend all of your profiles. I'm going to wrap up, guys, because there's some really more great information here before you go. So some big takeaways. We know freshness is a ranking factor. Lock in all of your citations. Make sure that you are doing AI gold with high keywords in your reviews. Local content, establishing local authority on your on your website, on your business profile. Do some press releases. Spend a couple $100 and do official press releases that goes out nationally. Those are highly reputable citations. Conversational language, AI loves that stuff. Never let your profiles go flatline. Always adding new content, super hyper local content, guys. I want to make sure we get everybody out of here on time. So really quick, shameless plug here at the very end. Okay, Locate, our company. We are the only Google business profile specific real estate marketing agency. This is all we do. We help real estate agents optimize their Google business profiles for higher visibility. We've got 3 main services to take a look at really quick. Number 1 is taking over your business profile for a one-time thing and optimizing it to the hilt. That's our bread and butter. Service number 2, maybe you're a person that is comfortable within your Google profile yourself and you just need the content to put in it. You just want to copy and paste. We do that. We also help people with monthly content and send it to you so you can just copy and paste it in your profile. So a lot of good stuff there. To wrap it up, everybody, if you have found value in today's presentation, I would highly, really appreciate if you could leave us a Google 5-star review. As we've talked about that, you know how important they are. So the QR code on the left is direct link to our Google profile where you can leave a review. And if you want to take a picture, that's even better. Please use some keywords like our business name, Locate, LOC8. Please mention Google Business for Realtors, real estate marketing. It's all super helpful. And then lastly, guys, the QR code on the right. If you found a ton of value in this and you're like, man, I could really use Bobby and Locate's help and I need to talk to somebody about it, please scan the QR code on the right. That goes directly to our lead funnel to get on our calendar. It will be a true one-on-one with me, the founder of the company. I'll spend 30 minutes with you. There's no obligation. It's free. You just want to ask some questions or you want me to look at your current Google business profile to see what you could be doing better or what we could do to help you. I highly recommend it. These kinds of webinars only scratch the surface of what we all need to be doing. I'm literally trying to cram in like 20 years of knowledge and expertise into a 60-minute window. And with AI so rapidly changing, this is the most up-to-date information. By the way, none of this is theory. This is all straight from the horse's mouth of what Google says and what these AI tools are saying to make sure that you're visible. If you don't do these things, you will be a ghost over the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years. So we've got to be doing this stuff, and it all starts with a highly optimized Google business profile. Guys, everyone, thank you so much. I'll stick around for a couple more minutes if anyone has any specific questions. I'll stick around in the chat. If you've got enough value, you're more than welcome to leave. We're finishing right on time, so I'm sure everyone appreciates that late in the day. I'll stick around. If anybody has any specific questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. And we'll hang. Hey, you're welcome, Albert. Hope you had a great time, man. Where is the link to my calendar? Nicole, it's that QR code on the right. That'll take you to my lead funnel that you just fill out a basic form with your name, your phone, and your email. And then that gets you the schedule to my calendar. So please just scan the QR code on the right. It'll go straight to my calendar. And I've got tons of availability over the next 2 or 3 weeks. I don't usually take meetings on Fridays, and I've opened up the next 3 Fridays. So hopefully you guys can find a time that works for you. Holly says, I can't do the QR code because I'm on my phone. Holly, jot down my number here, okay? And you can just shoot me a text message and I'll send you the link. Actually, even better yet, I will put the link in the chat and then everyone can just click on that as well. There we go. You're welcome, Brandy. Hope you had a great time. It is definitely golden information, guys. This is what it takes to win on Google and AI search today. I'm not saying it's not going to change someday, right? Google's always changing things, but this is up to date. If we're not doing these things at a bare minimum, then nothing else matters. So this is by and large the most important stuff we've got to do. We've still got about 40 people on here, probably scanning and leaving reviews and scheduling time. Really appreciate that. Any other questions? I'm happy to answer them as they're here. Hank had another question. How can you verify your business if you work from home but use your corporate address? So that is a big thing. If you're doing business in and around your corporate office, you're going to want your address to reflect that address on your business profile. But if you work from home and you want your home address, which if you're comfortable with adding your home address to your Google profile, that's totally fine. If you want to do business in and around your home, then the address plays an important part there. So it just depends on what you want, Hank. Do you want your business address to show up, or do you want your home address to show up? You're welcome, Susan. Hope you had a great time and found a lot of value. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cecilia says, I have clients that do not speak English. How do you deal with other languages on Google reviews? There is I believe, a translate option that will automatically translate that. But if they don't speak English, have them leave the review in their native language. That's fine. It's still a valuable review. I promise you, Google can read it. It doesn't matter if another English speaking person or not can read it. Another big takeaway, guys, is a lot of this stuff that we're doing now on the Google profile and on your website is not necessarily for human eyeballs. It's for AI eyeballs, right? We want AI tools and Google to recognize our business and think of us and our business as the best, as the experts. So more than a human coming across and reading your reviews, Cecilia, we just want AI tools to recognize that you're getting reviews, number one, you're getting valuable reviews, number two, and you're getting reviews consistently. So I don't think it really matters much what language the review is in. You're welcome, Rick. Glad you enjoyed it, buddy. On the two websites questions, I have the same. One is a big box broker website. The other is a custom site used more for blogging, local content. Should we mirror posts on both sites and Google Business Profile? To be perfectly honest, I would probably, if you've paid money and you've got a custom site that obviously you're leveraging on a consistent basis, you're adding blogs to it, which it looks like you are, and you're adding content, I would start to prioritize that site as opposed to the broker provided one, which also means that your Google Business Profile, Chris, needs to be linked to your custom site that has the fresh content that you're consistently putting on it. So, if the broker provided sites, guys, a lot of times that's what it is, right? It satisfies the brokers. It doesn't do anything for your local expertise. So my buddy Dustin on here says, thank you, Bobby. The only man in the world that does this at this level. Any other companies are so far behind the ball. This is a good guy because he knows a ton about Google stuff too. So thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. I can promise you guys, this is all we do. This is the content that we consume all the time, is to make sure that we're up to date so that I can tell Dustin and share with Dustin so he can share with his coaching clients, or that I can share with Chris or Cecilia or Christina or Rick or Dawn. All of you guys have the most up-to-date information, because even if we help you today and then you just manage your profile moving forward for the rest of your life, I'm still going to share valuable information with you on a consistent basis. Not to mention, I'm one of you. I'm an EXP agent. I'm with Honey Badger Nation, which most of us are. And so Jay Kinder is consistently wanting to provide value to all of you on this call. So he says, hey, Bobby, can you step in and do a workshop every month or two so that we make sure that Honey Badger Nation has the most up-to-date information when it comes to AI and Google? So you guys are in the right spot. I'm so happy. I'm so blessed to be here to help each of you with your business and your online visibility, because, guys, I'm telling you now, you will be a ghost online if you don't do this stuff. So whether it's us helping you or another company, or you do it on your own, you just got to do it. All right. Any other questions? Looks like we're kind of fading out. Numbers are dwindling down. Thanks, Dustin. I appreciate that, buddy. All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and stop the recording. Hit me up, schedule some time. I'd love to meet with you one-on-one. Really appreciate everyone's energy and getting everyone out of here on time. Have a great rest of your week. Be safe this weekend, and I'll talk with a bunch of you soon.